Hey, actually, I don't know why I'm like, hello. Actually, I don't know why I'm not talking because I'm just sharing the stream link. Hold on, I'm sorry. Give me a second. Hello, everyone. I'm gonna go on the stream. Copy link. Go to Instagram. Add your new story. Oh, I'm sorry, give me a second. Oh my god, my cat is trying to break into my room by banging on the door. Hold on. I have to add a link. Paste the link. Oh my god, my cat is actually destroying the door. Okay, I posted the link. Hello! Hi. Hello, Luna. Hi, Tsu. Hi, Mertz. Hello, Ito. Hi, everyone. No more Louis because he's too easy to come. I feel that. Just a heads up, I might be quiet today. I have a headache, and I just took a painkiller, but I don't know if it's gonna work. So if I'm quiet, that's the reason why. So it's me, Rantaro Kiyama, taking over. Hello, Rantaro Kiyama. I gotta go in like 2 hours. It's okay. I think this stream is gonna last 3 hours at most. Hope your headache gets better. Thank you! Louis said that he's also planning revenge, and if Mizugasaki fan comes, he will take over. For the sake of Rantaro, just call me Honcho? I shall call you Honcho. Today I'm gonna work on this commission, like I said yesterday. Hold on. Does it work? So this is a commission by Wito. Thank you so much for commissioning me. And this here is, this is the reference I was sent, which is what I'm trying to work on. So I have made this so far. That is what I have. If anything looks wrong or if anything needs to be changed, please let me know. Because I know the commissioner is in the chat, so please let me know anytime and I will change it. So this is like the rough sketch I have made, and I was working on having an actual sketch because this is just the rough one and I want to have something a bit more clean. And also because many things need to be fixed about this. So I was working on the cleaner version, which as you can see I've not done with. So I'm gonna try to do this today. I don't think it should take all 3 hours, which is why I will try and get feedback. Gotta do this one assignment for a subject that I'm not very good at in ad explaining. Oh no. You got this. What topic is it? What subject is it? I mean. They call him Hancho in the English dub, and in Japanese they call him Kamecho, which means boss. You see. That's cool. Yay! Thank you! I wish I had money. Me too! I actually just spent money this morning. I bought manga. After like 4 years of not reading any because I didn't have time. I finally bought manga and I'm so happy. I think the reference image I sent you is kind of funny. I think it looks really cute. Like seriously. Like in my terms of service, I wrote that clients can doodle a stickman if they want to get their idea across, and when I mean stickman, I was fully expecting like something like this. So I think this is actually really cute. Like I was surprised, pleasantly surprised. I'm still reading Beyblade Burst. I didn't know it had a manga version. Hold on. I was doing this on Saturday, so I just need to remember where I left off. Alright. I remember where I left off. I was gonna do the... Hold on. I was gonna do this like pattern on the shirt, on the sweater. I don't know how to do it, so I'm gonna try to figure it out right now. It's evolution. Evolution is a topic. I get assigned it, and I just get told to like talk about it, and what I'm planning on doing is trying to explain what it is, and then give examples of evolution in different species. I see. Actually, that's interesting. I think this would like. I don't really like biology. I think it was probably one of the few school subjects I didn't really enjoy doing. But evolution was actually pretty interesting. But you got this. It is confusing to explain though. I remember in my biology final exam, like the very last exam I had in my life for biology, I ended up having a good grade, but I tripped over my words so bad, and in the end I was defending the wrong thesis. That was very interesting. I think it's supposed to work like this. I think it's supposed to work like this. And then it just goes down again. But then it gets diagonal. I don't get how this pattern even works. Well, I'm gonna try this. And then And if I tilt it, I guess it looks weird. That's not the pattern I wanted to do. Is it? Wait, is it? I don't know. I'm having a brain dead moment. Hold on, if I do this and mirror it... I mean, it kind of works as a pattern, right? And the anime only recently finished season 3 and episode 37 was really sad. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I don't mind sad episodes in anime or manga, or like chapters, but when it's a comfort anime or manga, even though it's enjoyable, I always get so sad whenever my favorite characters are suffering. I have a mini manga collection. Me too. I think manga is really cool. I just wish I had more time to actually read it. The manga was released in 2015 and the anime in 2016. Oh, I see. I'm gonna guess it was released like first in Japan and then to the rest of the world, right? Okay, it looks somewhat straight. So that's our pattern. I'm gonna duplicate it once more. Okay, I think that's enough. I'm gonna save this pattern for reference. I'm gonna turn it purple and I'm gonna name this folder ref. I hope your headache isn't too bad. If it's really bothering you, it's totally fine to wait a few days before drawing. You have plenty of time to get it all done. Thank you! Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I was outside this morning to turn in my exam support paper thingy, and I was in the tramway and there was a noise that wouldn't stop, and it started making my head hurting, and it didn't really get better, but since I've taken a painkiller, it should be fine. Thank you. Love the reference. The reference is really cute. I think it's really cute. For instance, in episode 37, the character Aga Akaba, which is a really lovable MC, that his bay destroyed by Fee. Poor Aga was crying in the rain and Beyblade Burst is a comfort anime to most people. Oh no. I see. I know, that's really sad. I'm hearing my brother playing Prexikai on the TV. How does one play Prexikai on the TV? They have like a tactile TV. Okay, I'm gonna paste the same pattern on the shirts a bit everywhere. I'm just thinking, like from a rough sketch, I feel like the center of the character's body would be something like this. So if I want to center those two patterns better, I should probably put them here. And now I'm just gonna copy paste. Hold on, actually I can merge this and I can copy paste. And paste. Here. Hold on. part of my manga collection was manga I ended up getting for very cheap. It was a thing where you get a bag for $20 or 15 Swiss francs. And you can put as many books as you can in the bag. Dude, I went to buy a manga this morning and the single manga is 15 Swiss francs, so $20. What? I wanna get this. Okay, to be fair, I did get 2 manga for the price of 1 because it was a special offer. So I can't really complain, but what? That's so cool. So some of the manga I own, I wasn't aware of the content in them. Can't really flex my manga collection, it's okay. Hold on a second, I need a reference for the sweater. How do you even call this kind of sweater? Like, it has some kind of braids, patterns on it. I'm just gonna look at braid pattern sweater. Oh, it works. Okay, I found some stuff. Okay, so most of the time there doesn't seem to be any of that braid pattern on the shoulders. It just stops. Okay, so I can remove this actually. And then paste again. Okay. Beyblade though is not really an anime for kids, even if it's targeted, because it follows really deep themes. I see. Honestly, I feel like I don't know if anyone. Never mind. No, I was thinking of another show that is targeted at kids, but I feel like it's more for adults, or at least teenagers to enjoy, but actually no, it's just very appropriate for kids. I just like children's shows. I got another stream. Hi there! I'm Mizukasaki fan. Yes, it's a VGen cam. I'll be back later though, I'm in tuition right now. Oh my god, good luck. You got this. Switching up evolution for cats now. That actually sounds so interesting. I think I've read somewhere in the past that I think it's the palace cat that is like the most ancient form of cat that still exists today. I think this is what I read. Don't take my word for it. One second, something is messed up about my liquefy tool. What is happening? I need to turn down the hardness, or is it the strength? Oh, the strength is fine. Hold on a second. I'm thinking if I actually put this higher. And move this to this side. This looks weird. If I oh, if I rotate this, but what is happening with my liquefy tool? Okay, the hardness is weird. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with this part, because hold on, the sleeve here starts like around here vertically. So theoretically there shouldn't be this pattern anywhere past this point. So I'm thinking I should have this pattern curved here a bit behind the shoulder. Same for here, probably don't need this. And just have this pattern curl here. Let's try this. Hold on a second, this is actually annoying me. Let's change the canvas size. Pull it down like this. Wait, oh my god, you guys are chatting so much. Hold on a second. Hi, I'm late. Hi, Vision. Thank you for coming. He's taking over. Oh no, Louis is back. I own a Yuri manga. Oh my god, which one is it? I don't even know if I own any kind of romance manga, to be honest. Hold on, I can raise this here and... Hold on, actually I don't know what I'm doing because there's a much easier solution. Let's go to transform, puppet warp. Oops. Okay, and then I can do the same on the other side. Actually, the other side is fine. Let's go back to the original. Hold on, change canvas size. Clips to the paint. Hello? My clips to the paint has bugged. Okay, I've never seen this before. Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be 4,000. Here we go. Louis bells, Louis on the way. My birthday was yesterday. Wish me a happy birthday right now. Oh my god, happy birthday! Happy belated birthday, actually. I'm late, but I live. Hi, Snoopy. Thank you for coming. Hey, Mopi. I don't play Praxekai myself, but my friends do, so I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it. I was wondering if you'd like an official Praxekai plushie from Sega. I found out they have an official flagship store in China and are selling those. That's so sweet, thank you. Fortunately, I am able to order them online, so I should be fine. But thank you, that's really sweet. Actually, I have a friend in real life who has gone to China and she's also bought me Praxekai merch from there. That's very sweet though, thank you. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe I have 6 Praxekai plushes already. Official ones, I mean. So it should be fine. I really need to upgrade my display space though. Because I have so many plushies that I don't really have the space to put them anymore. Wait, hold on a second. That's the thing I said I would erase, and this is the thing. Okay, hold on. This is the thing I said I would correct. Okay, I'm gonna erase this. And let's go to transform. I'm gonna try mesh transformation this time. Okay, I think that should be better. It's not perfect, but it works. I think I'm just gonna bring this a bit more to the side. And then actually, instead of erasing these parts, I can just hide it. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, back to reading the chat. I listened to Gimme Gimme and now I yearn to make another cover, even though I am Rain. I have a I am Rain cover I'm supposed to be working on. And both are peak. I love Watashi wa and I love Gimme Gimme. I own Adachi and Shimamura. I got gifted it for Christmas. Never heard of it, hold on. Adachi and Shimamura. Oh my god, it looks cute! Wait, I think I've seen it before? Probably. That's really cute! Unfortunately, I haven't had much time to think about my stories, so very sad. It's okay, don't worry, you're gonna get so much more time to read them, to think about them. So I don't have much updates, but I'm thinking more about the cafe story and I'm thinking about the story length. It's gonna be so cool. I'm not sure it's gonna be so cool. I only have ideas for 1 season, but I've been thinking about it maybe being 2 seasons or more. It would be really cool. I'm thinking if I added her aunt as a detective, that she could also be a mystery, like her aunt is a mystery in itself. That actually sounds interesting. I don't like this. Okay, no, I'm not. I was thinking of something, but it might sound mean, even though I don't mean it in a mean way in the slightest. But you know those, like this game, which often has. Wait, what? Which often has an ad. I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's a game that reminded me of what you were saying, and I thought that was pretty cool. What I'm yapping about isn't really spoilers if it's gonna get mentioned early on, so that these are mostly ideas. No worries. Honestly, I feel like personally I've been spoiled so many times in my life that I don't even mind spoilers anymore that much. I got once when I was, I don't know, maybe 17. I got spoiled my favorite character's death. And ever since, I'm just so, like, I don't even care anymore. Oh my god, where are you guys fighting? Can we all hold hands? And I don't know, find what's at the end of the rainbows together. I'm gonna call this buddy. Oh, wait a second. I just realized. I was gonna draw the hair, but I just realized I should be adding details like this here. I'm not holding hand with key stick. Then what about instead of holding hands, we... I don't know. Let's all one die together. Hold on a second. So here, there's this in the whole thingy. So the other, there should be a fall created by the overlap. So it should go technically like this. I'm also making sure to have it always come back to the cafe because I want it to be a big part / place that they always come back to, even if I end up having the plot going to a whole other place. I think that's really good. Also, I don't know, I like cafes. I don't even know two cafes myself, but I like knowing they exist. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like the idea of them is comforting, so I like this. Okay, and I'm also gonna add some here. Actually, how does that go from behind? I think it's like this. Probably gonna end up coloring this with Pastel anyway. I still get to know. I think this will go like this and then I don't know. Okay, moving on. You should take a bath with bubbles. That sounds great, actually. You know what? Let's all not hold hands and go on vacation. Well, it's time to change canvas size again. So if I erase those horrendous details, the sleeve gets and goes like this. So I can have a kind of whole thingy here. And then for the sleeve here, I don't think it's gonna show. So I'm gonna give it like this. I'm thinking the sleeve here might be a little thin. So I'm gonna push this a bit more. Actually, no, I think it's too thick. So never mind. And we go back to 4,000 pixels. Oh, it doesn't even show anyway. Okay. That's fine. Like, I feel that's the first idea of the story, that's why I really wanted to come back to it as like a hangouts pattern or something. I feel that like the story, I'm sorry for always talking about my own stories and replying to you, but I reread it to this because like the main story I'm working on that I always talk about like started when I saw an illustration of a dragon skeleton, and now it's like it doesn't, I don't have to include it in the plot, but I still want it, like the dragon skeleton, to be included because it's where the story all started. So I'm basically working around the plot while keeping the dragon skeleton in mind just because I'm attached to it by now. And I'm gonna draw, I think I wanna draw the face first. To be honest, getting a profile picture was a good thing for me. At least I don't have to use a bunch of pixelated blocks as my profile picture anymore. I'm really happy for you. Also, thank you again for commissioning me. If you need anything changed, you can definitely say it, or you can email it to me or whatever works the best for you. I'm gonna try my best. Better back, something came up, no problem. Let's all take bubble bath, then put on Prexikai merch, then skip into the sunset holding hands, so true. Are you guys okay? Okay, so I was asked to draw a like warm expression, like something comforting. So I'm gonna try to make it look warm. And to do this, something I've noticed usually looks comforting and warm in anime expressions is when instead of having the eye like this, you can cut a bit, under like this, and it looks like so much smilier. So I'm gonna do this. Excuse me, why are we... I must remind you of the existence of the toilets. I feel like it is my moral obligation of reminding you that the toilet exists. Wait, what? Don't smoke? I feel like I'm making the eyes too sharp. Luna is your mother. Here you go, Luna. What? Oh, wait. I always forget there is top chat and then live chat, and top chat doesn't show all messages, so I was so confused. Okay, I see the messages I've missed. I think this could be a bit thinner. Oh, Mizukasaki fan has had a change of heart. I'm scared to know what this is even about. I feel like the photos I took of that cat make me look like someone on prison yard break because of those guardrails. No, don't worry, don't worry. Honest. Okay, Mopi lore time. When I was in high school, like I went for the 4 years. Like we have to go to high school for 4 years here. During the entirety of my time in high school, I was in the same high school, and it turns out the architecture of my high school was based on like prison architecture. So honestly, I didn't even think about it. Like honestly, I don't even see it. I just realized I have no idea what VGen is. VGen is like, it's a website. I don't know if they're planning to make it an app, I hope so, but it's a website on which you can commission artists. It can be like illustrators, it can be musicians, composers. It can be basically any kind of art, I believe. And like I would say it's the safest place for artists to offer commissions on, which is why I am on VGen, because I'm scared of scams. At least with VGen there is some protection. Basically how it goes is the artist sets up a service. In my case, that, like for example, for this kind of illustration I'm doing, I set up a service for headshots illustration. You can set up your terms of use, so basically detailing all the rules you want people to follow when commissioning you. And then you can have a base price and add-ons, and also you can have different prices depending on the license type, whether it's personal use, commercial use, monetized contents, stuff like this. So I think it's like a really great platform. I've commissioned someone twice on there and I had no problem. So I recommend it. The only catch is that you need to have a code to be able to offer commission services. And to get that code, you either have to ask someone who is a verified artist, or you have to join. Like there are multiple ways to get codes. The way I got my code was basically by interacting on social media. So I recommend you check out the website and also follow their Instagram if you have Insta. And I would gladly give codes away. Unfortunately, I do have a code for myself, but I'm not a verified artist yet because I haven't completed all the requirements yet. So I don't have any codes to give away. That sounds pretty cool. Maybe I'll check it out sometime when those out. I think it's really cool. It also gives me tons of ideas for like how the art market in general works. Because you can see how other people are pricing their services, how much time it takes them, the reviews from the clients. Oh, and also there is a direct message system, which means you can communicate directly with the client. But you can also offer like SCEB type services, which means no communication. So that works great as well. When Min was in high school, he had a locker that wouldn't open unless you used force or something, so he would have to beat up his locker daily and would get teased by his friends because of how funny it looked. I love this, especially since I had a similar experience. My locker, like I had a locker in high school, like in last year of high school specifically. Like my friend and I got lockers next to each other, but it turns out we weren't actually next to each other. One of us had a locker. There are tiny lockers, and one of us, like my friend, had a locker all the way to the bottom of the shelf. So if this is the locker shelf, my friend had received this locker, and I have received this locker. The problem is I am too small for the locker on top. The locker on top. I am too small for it, and my friend, who was a giant, was way too tall for this locker. So it, like the first few weeks it was kind of funny, until we decided to trust each other and eventually exchanged our lockers. That was funny. I want to sleep somewhere peacefully. Does anyone have a bed that doesn't catch on fire? May I recommend perhaps a bathtub? Respectfully. Actually, do bathtub even catch on fire? Like, is that possible? I think it's like ceramic? Ceramic catch on fire? Hold on a second. I'm curious now. Can a bathtub catch on fire? Oh, not all of them. Okay. Oh, I don't have a bed that doesn't catch on fire for you, I'm sorry. Actually, China's second-hand marketplaces are a magical place. They sell just about everything. Yes, even the VGen authentication code. That's actually amazing. I think if someone were to buy such a code and they were caught, it wouldn't end very well for them. But like, it is amazing that this kind of place exists. I can promise you here that would never happen. Also, I don't even know if Swiss people know VGen exists. I've met a few illustrators, a few Swiss illustrators, and dude, the art market in Switzerland is dead. It is so dead. Like, most people you meet in conventions, like say for example anime conventions, who are artists, you would think they would be perhaps Swiss. No, they are not. They are not Swiss. And honestly, the art market is so dead, so I don't even blame Swiss people for not being into art. Okay, this should follow the natural curve of the eyelashes. I feel like I made it too long. What about now? Oh, that looks nice. I think I may have made the eyes a bit small. Okay, that looks a little better. And then here. Yeah, that's better. I said bring Kamishiro here. Fine, teleport Suru Kamishiro here. Hello, Kamishiro Rui. Do you make me fire resistant bed? The floor cutely catches on fire. That doesn't sound like a very good idea. Please don't sleep on the floor. Can you like turn off your hair or something. Can we like extinguish your hair? Yeah, because I don't know where to find a fireproof bed, but I do know where to find a fire extinguisher. In fact, I can even go get one right now. This bothers me. Hold on a second. I'm gonna try to... What if it was more round? I think the iris is too small. Maybe that's why I'm struggling. Okay, if I make it this big... and then remove a bit here. And if I make this edge thicker, then for this one, the eye is looking too small still. Let's try to make this bigger, and this as well. Okay, what about now? This is after and this is before. After. Okay, the after is much better. So let's also make this bigger. Actually, I don't know if this needs to be bigger. Why is Shirosaki Louis scared of cats? Cats are cute. I love cats. I think I'm gonna yap about the story idea where it's just stereotypes but people are aware. That sounds interesting. Oops. I locked my screen. I'm back. One of the ideas, what a trope that is basically, I can fix him, and it's the trope where someone, usually a girl, goes and makes the nonchalant man soft and he can't say no to her. This trope, dude. Why are you eating cat? No cat eating on my stream. No. We are the friends of cats here. There's something looking weird. Okay, I know what it is actually. Hold on. This should be like this. And this should be a little bigger. And also a little longer. The second-hand market is a magical place much like the wandering merchants in video games. For example, I once bought an iPhone engineering prototype there. What? Oh my god, wait! That is actually very cool. iPhone engineering prototype. That is really cool. We don't have much it's starting to come a bit, but we don't really have much second-hand marketplaces. So that sounds really cool to me. Thank you for the hearts. I have an idea for a character that's aware that got into this turn. I have an idea for a character that's aware that got into this turn. Sorry. I have an idea for a character that's aware that got into this, turned the trope into I can't fix him, and ends up leaving them alone and telling them to get therapy. I love this. That's wild. I love this. Most of the trope ideas I have are really overused and annoying tropes in media. I think that's a really good idea. I like this. The word would be healing. Doesn't look very warm to me, so what I'm thinking... Oops. What I'm thinking to do to make it a bit more comforting is taking this part of the eyelashes and flattening it just a little bit. Does this look better? Let's try and see. Let's take this part of the eyelashes and let's flatten it. I think it looks a bit better, but also this is bothering me. This is too big. Actually, the whole face is bothering me. Hold on. This ear is misplaced compared to the other one. Then the face. Should be like this. Is this better? Okay, that is better. But also, the face here looks weird. Okay, that's better. Something's bothering me. I'll go back to it in a few moments. Let me read the chat. I have schoolwork to do, but I love to say thank you. Chat and Mopi, bye bye, bye bye! Thank you for coming! Ranjiro in the background, can I take over now? Ranjiro should take over. I don't know how many awake characters, but there's at least gonna be 6 of them. I was thinking of making for... I was thinking of making for people aware the characters, making them aware and see where that goes. I see. Why did you make her forehead so big? I don't know, because that's how anime works. I don't actually know. Hold on. Wait, actually that's a fair point. I lowered the eyes in the process and I didn't even notice. Hold on. It kind of looks weird when I raise it. Yeah, no, it looks better. You're right. Okay, I think I know part of what's bothering me is this eye here. Oh, never mind. Okay, that's a little better. And then this eye will go more in the middle. But then this one looks weird as well. I think I'm just not very good at drawing this specific face angle. Also, the ears are too high. That's a thing. Because originally, my plan was to have the character like face a bit downward. I don't think that's being presented very well. So I'm gonna lower the ears. Okay, already better. That's much better. Okay, that fixes some of the weirdness of it, but I'm thinking this eye looks really weird. I might just redraw it entirely and see how it goes. Hold on a second. If I do this, is it better? Not really. A bit, but also not really. I think the eyebrow is also too long on this side. And her mouth might be... Okay, that's better, and then I want to make it look softer, so I'm gonna erase this. And that's another problem I have, is that this and this, like this does not line up. But any point. This looks weird. So let's lower this. Okay, that's better. And the last thing I want to fix is the shape of the eyelashes. Okay, that's better. Or is it? I think one of the problems is that this is too long. Okay, this is what we have now, and compared to before, this is before, this is now. There's still something bothering me, but I don't know what that is. It's probably because I'm not used to this head angle. Maybe. Hold on, I will read the chat in a second. Only one bit drop, but someone accidentally spawned in 20 extra bits. I love this. Too many bits. I love this. Let me do my hair real quick. Use this giant hairbrush. Actually, that's something I've been wondering about. The people, like the anime people, anime characters who have crazy hairstyle, how do they even brush their hair? How does that work? I'm starting to wonder if some people come to the store just to mess with the customer service staff. For example, a customer just asked me how many petals are in a bucket of roses. As an artist, I can definitely think about reasons why the person wants to know how many petals. Like, if they're planning to buy flowers to use the petals for something, I can imagine, but if they're actually just gonna buy flowers, not to use the petals for anything, why would they why would they ask that? No. Oh no. Now I'm kind of curious. Hold on, let me Google this. How many petals are in a bucket of roses? An average rose on the market typically has between 20 to 40 petals. So I guess if there is like 6 roses, it's gonna be between 120 to 240. What kind of question is that though? What kind of question is that? Mopi, do you like Mio Ramtaro's design better? Let me Google Ramtaro. Beyblade Ramtaro. I have to say Ranjiro's design is better because he looks like a paintbrush. I like the paintbrush. Mina once had to dress up as Ariel from The Little Mermaid for a Halloween costume since his company's manager had his crew dress up as princesses. I love this. I remember being so obsessed with The Little Mermaid when I was a child. Like the Disney version, not the original version. I've never read the original version, I just know it's really sad. And for this reason I do not plan on reading it. I don't want to have my childhood destroyed. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, she does have a huge forehead. So I think, yeah, I made her hair not that big because I thought the skull was way too big. My brother Ramtaro said that I copied his lollipop design. What is a lollipop design? Oh, by the way, reminder to drink water. I think what's left is gonna be the hair. I just finished counting. You actually counted! Oh my god. Based on the bouquet we sell, which contains 10 roses each, the bouquet I have here has about 337 petals. Oh my god. That's a lot of petals. I hope the customer who asked this is happy, because I don't want to judge them because I don't know why they need to know it, but that is a bit of a ridiculous question. Like, the question itself is valid, but they had you count. They actually had you counting how many petals there is in a bucket. Am I up about my ballerina OC? Oh my god, ballerina OC sounds interesting. We both have lollipops in our mouth 24/7. Do you? To be honest, I get you. Lollipops are very yummy. I like apple ones. Apple lollipops are so yummy. Her name is Annaliasa. I hope I pronounced that correctly. She's a Victorian-inspired doll. She's a life-size doll made for kids to be a bigger life-size doll. That's so cute! That's so cute. Hi Marina, hi Tuffy, Puffy. Also gonna go now. Bye-bye, bye-bye Mert. Oh my god, high first commission. Yay! I'm happy. Hold on, I think the hair needs a bit more detail. How's the mopping? The mop is mopping very good, thank you. I hope everyone is doing great too. She's usually a shorter doll, but she's a life-size version for Tomo kids. So she's like 144 centimeters. I see. That's really cute. I'm 100% sure he's just here to have some fun, because right now he's asking me how many petals are on the bucket of carnation. I am so sorry for you. I am actually so sorry for you. You have to be the best customer service in the world, because I promise you nobody in Switzerland would ever actually answer this question. Wait a second, I think I wanna resketch the hair because it looks a bit unnatural right now. So if this is the origin of the hair, did I just hear a cat meow? Never mind, I'm back. Welcome back! Okay, now I'm gonna introduce Lane. Lane is also a main character. He's a boy who is told to be taller than other kids his age since he hits puberty early. He kinda has a canon hate. He's me. I was so much taller than other kids. Lane sounds cool. I'm gonna yap about Beyblade stuff I found interesting then. Please do you. Out of all the names you chose, Lane, you chose that name I can't unsee. I think you mentioned Lane was a Beyblade character, right? Hold on. I think I'm gonna get a reference for the hair real quick. Yeah, just to see how it flows better. In Lane's universe, it's very common to hit puberty late, and most do, and people there are pretty short, and he hit a growth spurt early. In his final height, he's not very tall. I see. He's me. He's basically me. I was so tall as a kid, and then now everyone is so much taller than me. Okay, I like this reference. But Lane likes cuter things and fashion. I didn't mean to make him like music. He chose this path on his own. That's cute. Bolt's Bay is called Valkyrie, and Shoes Bay is called Spriggan. That spells VS, which represents Volt and Shoe's rival and Suma. Oh, I see. That's very cute. In the manga, Xander's confirmed height is 186 centimeters, as it's literally shown with text. Oh my god. Lane's been kinda pressured to be a certain way from others with being told for his age and then thinking he would be better if he matured. Oh no. This bucket of carnations I'm holding, 10 stems in total, has about 148 petals. Oh, so there's about 15 petals per stem. I'm going to ask my boss for a raise because night shift customer service representatives often have to deal with people who are just looking for a laugh. You should definitely tell your boss about this. You really should ask for a raise. Because you shouldn't have to deal with this. I know for a fact nobody, like none of the customer services I have interacted with myself or that I knew my acquaintances have interacted with, nobody would have done this. Like generally, you must be the best customer service in the world for being so patient. Lane aspires to be more mature and says to Annalisa that he wants to be more mature. He often gets made fun of by his family for being cute. That sucks. I think being cute is great. I'm thinking of raising, compared to my rough sketch, I'm thinking of raising her bangs a little, because the problem with this is that it hides her expression a bit, which makes her seem a bit mysterious. Also, it doesn't rematch what I was sent for reference, and because like this is more mysterious and this is just cute, and my goal isn't to make her look mysterious, so I'm gonna keep the bangs like this. Most of the Beyblade Burst characters' names are changed in Western audiences. For example, Chaka turned into Xander and Louis turned into Louis. I hate when this happens. Like, I mentioned I went to buy manga this morning, right? And I don't know if you guys have... I don't know if you guys have read or watched Witch Hat Atelier. There is this character whose name in Japanese is Agato, and in English they translated it as Agot. And I don't like this, I don't really mind, because it is kind of... I don't know. Okay, this is the English version, right? This is English version. In the French manga, which I went to buy this morning, they changed her name to Agathe, which is a real name in French. And those sound like the Japanese version, but like, can we please keep a consistent naming system for Western audiences if we're gonna translate names? Because I watched the anime in English and I read the manga in French. Dude, this is disturbing me. Same for the like another character in which Hatato is called Gifri in English. Like in Japanese he's called Gifri. In English they write it like this, Gifri with a Q. And in French I don't know what they did. They did like Ki. Like what is that? What even is that? I don't even like, it's making me so mad. And one name was completely changed. There is another character still in which Hatatoye, which in Japanese is called Riche, and in English they write it as Riche, like this, which makes perfect sense. And then in French they call her Tris. Can someone tell me what's the like what happened here? How did we go from Riche to Tris? What happened? That even pronunciation wise, that's not the same name. I hate when they do this. Like, how am I supposed? Like, please keep a consistent name. Honestly, just because of this, I'm considering buying the manga in Japanese from now on, because this here is annoying me. I understand the struggles of translating, and especially names when it comes to actually catering to a Western audience, so I understand the stylization of names. But what happened here? It's making me mad. Okay, hold on. I got so lost in this that I forgot to read the chat. Hold on. The same goes with what they say when they launch the base. For example, in JP it's go shoot, and in English it's let it read. It's the same in Pokemon. In the Japanese version, they call Pokeballs Monster Balls. Pokeball does not exist. I personally prefer the word Pokeball. But still, why did they translate it? It's not even a translation, because Monster Ball is literally Monster Ball. Why did they change it to Pokeball? I don't know. In the Metal Fight game for the Nintendo DS, there was actually a McDonald's pay. Suyo Genji's birthday is September 9th with, oh my god, like Emu, which is Yin Yang, which represents his split personalities. Oh, okay. Oh. Wait, is it Yin Yang if it's 9-9? Wouldn't like 9-6 or 6-9 make more sense? I don't know. In the manga, during a flashback in the 2014 national tournament, it's shown Louis bursting Spriggan and Spriggan bursting into Shu's eye, giving Shu his scare. No! Oh no! From what I remember, I introduced Lane in what he wants from what I've told Yao, and gets a gift from his aunt and uncle. And it's a life-size doll. And it was to make fun of him liking cute things, so he ends up getting kinda mad and putting a blanket over it and walked away. Oh no! I'm sure he would have liked it actually if he wasn't made fun of. Oh no! And Alyasa was in the box and ends up breaking out of the box, and then later, like maybe an hour or so, Rain comes back into his room and see Alyasa out of the box walking. Ling gets scared and Yasa ends up being able to calm him down. That is so cute! That is really cute. I hope they end up being good friends. Mopi, I'm actually curious about something. When Swiss people refer to Switzerland in English, do they usually say Switzerland or Swiss? We say Switzerland. Swiss, like you can say Swiss people, but the name of the country is Switzerland. Some of us, I wouldn't even say a lot of us, don't speak English very well. So because in French, Switzerland is Suisse, the thing is, some of us might just think that Swiss in English means Suisse in French, which isn't exactly right. So technically the correct way to call the country in English is Switzerland, but you might hear Swiss people, especially French speakers, call the country Swiss, but that isn't correct. So I do think most of us know that Switzerland is the correct word in English. I feel like I've seen more French people call it Swiss than Swiss people. Wait, I've seen so many translations of names because of the katakana, right? Like Rodo translated to road, which I personally like, or Rodo. What is that? Even the pronunciation is different. Pokemon is a bit complicated because of Pocket Monsters, that's why it's cool. It goes from Monster Ball to Pokeball. I know, but like Pokemon Pocket Monster makes sense. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being overly critical. In the fight with Lane and Hikaru, Lane gives Hikaru free PTSD, resulting in Hikaru quitting Beyblade. Oh no. Oh no, that is so sad. Just like the last names also change in Western audiences. For example, Asahi turns into Hisashi, and Daikokuten turns into Daizora. Okay. There's like the problem. I don't know. You know, in Pokemon, how the main character of the series, like the original series, is called Ash in English, right? For so long, I had no idea who this Ash that everyone on the internet was talking about, because in French he's called Sasha. In French he's called Sasha, in English he's called Ash, in Japanese he's called Satoshi. That was the most English Satoshi I've ever said. The Beyblade Burst anime actually takes a different path because it removes a lot of main points because they are not really suitable for kid audiences. The metal fight is rated R for violence. Oh no. In the manga, Rantaro is often mentioned as Kamichi not Honcho. We did mention this. In the Beyblade Burst manga, Shu is sent having a much more weird personality, kicking Volt in the balls in the first volume. Sorry, this is so funny to me. And also the Beyblade Burst manga, they swear a lot more often, and the same goes with the Japanese sub, which they don't do in the English dub, softening it down. I see. Yasa has long black hair, a bow on the side of her hair with pink eyes and pale skin. That's so cute! She's so pretty, I'm sure. Sorry, I just remembered today is my grandma's birthday. I should call her later. I just realized why the hell is Sophie here. Hi, I'm Mopi. Sasha, yes, actually it's spelled with like S-A-C-H-A. Yeah, he's called Sasha in French. Actually, I think pretty much all the names of Pokemon characters are different in French and in English, and obviously in Japanese. Which makes it so confusing for me because I consume the content in 3 languages. I'm not even gonna get started on Pokemon names because I know them all in French and I know none of them in English, aside from my favorite ones. Oh my god, so many cats. Last Beyblade fact of the day, Beyblade's Burst Quad Strike doesn't exist in Japan, being a Hasbro exclusive. Wait, is it like a game? Which means season 6 was the end of Beyblade Burst in Japan. Oh, I see. Wait, that actually sucks that they didn't get the content. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this story, but I was originally planning on a comic for it. That would be really cool. Like, the concept is so interesting. I think it would be really cool as a comic. Hold on. And also, Beyblade Burst had been running for 7 years, and we didn't get a movie. I really hope there is some possibility of you guys getting a movie in the future. I personally prefer series over movies, but like getting a movie for existing series is always so exciting. I'm so excited for summer break so then no one can pressure me about school. So true. No, this is so real. I think I want to make this shorter. Why? I don't know. Okay, that's a bit better. Honestly, I'm also so excited for summer break. Because then I will actually have time to do stuff. Like working on my VTuber model, which is getting like really necessary for me to do because if I'm gonna skip streaming, like when I'm reading the chats, I'm not drawing, so there's really nothing to look at. So I feel like if I had a model, that would be a lot more interesting. So I want to work on this. I also want to work on my stories. I gotta work on merch. I just remembered, I think a market's sign up option, like the signing up has started. I have to check this out. So I'm excited for summer breaks so I can actually get stuff done. You know what? No, I'm not done with the Beyblade yapping yet. Please keep yapping. Volt, Aoi, and Tyson are born on March 31, which means 3 to 1, go shoot, let it rip, hypervitas. I don't know what else. That's cute. Oops, I'm sorry if you heard this noise. I was yawning. Also a reminder to drink water. That cat showed up again. It was perched on top of an air conditioner unit. That is so cute. That's so cute. I think... Is it like the part that gets warm or is it the part that actually gets... that makes the room colder? I honestly, like, we don't have air conditioning here, so I'm not really sure how it even works. But like, if it's the part which I imagine would get hot from getting, like, from the machine working, I wonder if it's because like cats like warmth. Well, the Aoi has a blue bay and design, and Aiga has a red design, and Bay and Aiga wanted to make his bay red so that he is the opposite of Volt. Rivalry 101. This is Rivalry 101. Aga Akaba is, in my opinion, considered one of the most lore-filled dude in Beyblade Bursts, having an even arc and a redemption arc. We love to see the redemption arcs. I don't know, personally, I really like when former antagonists get a redemption arc. I don't know, I just like everyone getting along. I think this looks too thick compared to this side. So I don't know if I want to make this side thicker or if I want to thin out this one. Personally, I feel like this lacks details, so I'm gonna try to add a little bit more. Okay, yeah, that's better. I don't even have much planned for summer break, man. I just really like not being pressured. That is true. And I wish I could enjoy my summer break like this too. Unfortunately, as I've mentioned, I have to study during the whole summer because I have papers to turn in at the end of summer. However, I really hope you can enjoy your summer and also enjoy your summer for me. Please enjoy the no pressure of being free. I'm just really excited to have time to enjoy writing my stories instead of having to put them aside and being sad because I can't work on them. That's true. Actually, how long is your summer break? I'm curious. I hope it's very long so you can enjoy it a lot. I gotta go now. Bye bye, mates. Lion Valhalla is the only character whose hair is inspired by whose hair is inspired by their pets. Harry the Hedgehog. That's so cute. I love this. The indoor unit of an air conditioner cools or heats the room, but the outdoor unit continues to generate heat. Yeah, that's what I thought. I guess the reason it's lying up there is that it likes the warm temperature. I see. This is also what I was thinking. Because I know my cats love, like, when we close the kitchen door whenever we're cooking because we don't want our cats burned. But when we do open the door after we're done and the stove is not as hot, I know my cats love to lie on top of the cool down stove because it's still faintly warm. And it's really cute. The weather in Guangzhou is really awful. Summers are hot and the high humidity makes you sweat and feel sticky all over. I don't like summer much, so I really understand the feeling. In winter, temperatures don't drop below freezing, but the high humidity makes it feel much colder even if you're wearing a down jacket. Yeah, hold on. Let me just look up Guangzhou on the map. Because I think it's like next to the sea, right? Yeah, it's next to the sea, so yeah, I get that. The humidity next to the sea really is impressive. I hope you at least get some fresh air, because I find that that fresh air is the only thing saving me from the heat in summer. And during winter, personally, I like it when it's cold. But also, it's not very, like the air humidity doesn't really get high in winter here, so that's probably why I don't really mind that much. Analia is a soul trapped inside a doll. Her soul really likes ballet and she was a ballerina in her past life. That's so cute! I really like that concept of her soul being in the object. I really like that concept. I don't know, I think it's like 2 months and a half from what people have told me. I see. That's good. I think that's a good length. When I was like a few years ago here, summer break for children was 2 months. 2 months long, and then they shortened it to 1 month and a half. And then when I got to university, I have 4 months, bro. Technically 3 if you don't count the exam session. But because I don't have many exams to take, I basically have 4 months of summer break. Which is kind of insane to think that now as a university student, I have more free time than I did when I was in high school. Also more vacation. I'm finally back. I wasn't home since the start. A rare thing to happen. I will rewatch what I missed after the stream. Welcome back! I hope whatever you were doing went well. Hi. I think I wanna add this. Or should I add this? No, that's too much. I'm just feeling like this area is too empty. But also I don't want to overcrowd this area, so maybe I'm just gonna make it short. But then it looks a bit too 2D, so I want to have some overlap. What about this? That's too much, I feel like. Okay, I think if I make it longer, this works. Okay, like this. And then here, I can probably make it longer. And then I want to have this just to make the hair feel a bit lighter. but also because I already did this on the other side. I think like the problem is with the sketch I have done, it's pretty much like on the same level, so I'm gonna make this one longer, and also I'm gonna have it go behind the hair I already have drawn. But then it mirrors this, so I don't like it. What if I made it shorter? What about this? Oh, that looks cute. Sorry, I've been yapping to myself. Give me a second. Okay, I like this. So many cats! You're right, university breaks are longer than the previous formal education, right? Honestly, I'm so much happier in university than I was in high school. High school was a different kind of pain. Okay, I think I like this. The only issue I have is this part here. It looks a bit odd because it's the only part that curves up like this. And also this is a bit flat, so first I'm gonna break this hair strand a bit. By making it go behind the other hair strands. Also, I'm wondering if I should make it smaller. If I make this smaller, it shouldn't look as odd. Actually, it looks weird. If I remove this entirely and just draw like this, I think it looks better, but it also looks a bit flat. So what I'm gonna do to... Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do to avoid it looking flat. When I'm coloring later, hold on. In this commission I've done, you can see there are some line art list color strands of hair, like here. This one or this one. I'm gonna have some strands overlap like this, so it looks not too busy, but that it also looks a bit three-dimensional. Okay, and also here it's looking a bit bulky. Okay, I like this. I have no idea what I'm gonna do over the break besides work on my stories and draw a lot more. I think that's already a good plan. Yep, it went well. Wished I could have returned it earlier though. I did leave the live stream on. No worries. Though I do hope you enjoy watching the part of the live stream you've missed. There's still something bothering me with the face with this eye in particular. Yeah, that's better. And also this eyebrow is should be brought forward a little bit. That's better. I'm definitely listening to yourself, yeah. The line art less hair strand is so interesting. That's a stylistic choice. It is. And also because I think if I had done everything with line art, like regular, in this case, dark pink line art, it would have looked like, say this hair strand had line art. If I did this for every single hair strand, it would look messy very quickly. And also because it's so thin, because like the whole goal of doing those singular hair strands is to make like the air feel less bulky. If I added line art to those hair strands, it would look bulky very quickly. So personally, I just like to color pick, like say this color here, and then add hair strands like this, so it looks more interesting. Actually, hold on. Let me open the commission file. Commission for Nox. If I had removed, like if you remove those hair strands, like it still works. I still think it's pretty, but you know, because the air is basically trapped in the line art, it doesn't really feel like hair. Like if your goal is to have bulky hair, that works perfectly. If that is not your goal, I think if your goal is to make it more airy looking, I think adding those hair strands really makes a difference. It adds more details. It's very quick to do because you don't have to do line art per se. And it also makes the hair look more like hair because it's messy. And I like this. That's just how I go about it. I know many artists use the same technique, which is also why I started using it, because I thought it was really cool. So I recommend at least trying it, because I feel like it makes the hair look more alive. That makes sense. I like that it would otherwise look very cluttered, probably. That's what I think too. I think it's good to add details without making it look lumpy, kinda. Okay, I'm gonna stop streaming after I finish coloring, like just the basic coloring for the sketch, and then I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. I don't know when I'll stream next time, but after this I will do the line art and the actual rendering part. For today I just want to get the sketch done. I'm gonna make a color folder, and I'm gonna go and get the instructions for the commission so I don't get it wrong. this is the background color I was given. I just want to check it's the right color. 22, 22, 29, that's correct. Okay. The skin color is light. Hold on, that might be a little bit too dark for me to see anything. I know I haven't played Praxica and it's my #1 game on the list, but I'd like to ask some questions about it. I could have googled them, but I thought it would be fun to ask here. Of course, no worries. Also, like, I think asking people directly is sometimes more efficient. Might be interesting to see it from the point of view of someone who hasn't played it. First, Artsaka and Sake siblings. They are the cutest siblings ever. Like, out of all the siblings in the game, they have the closest relationship and they're very cute. Like, honestly, it's so positive, it makes me happy. The Tenma siblings, I love them. Silver white hair. Hold on a second. Okay, I've been exploring the gold stuff in Sakai Viewer, and even from your ID stream, I saw there are different groups, as in Virtual Singer and Leonides. What's that about? So basically, are they all in the same verse? They are. Basically, Praxica is about, like, I think I saw you were in the Teto server, so I think you know what Vocaloid is about. Basically, there are different units. Hold on, I think I'm gonna draw to explain it better. So you have in total 6 units. The virtual singers, which we abbreviate as VS. Basically, the virtual singers, which are basically the Kryptonoids, they live in different, I don't want to say different universes, but they live in subspaces, which are called sekai, so basically words, which you can access through your phone. And every unit has their own virtual singer, so that means that the 5 other units, which is Leonid, which is LN, Momo Jump, MMJ, Vivid Bat Squad, BBS, Wonderland Showtime, which I call Wonder Show because this is unpronounceable, and Night Corridor 25, which I call Nigo. So all those 5 units all have the same virtual singers, but they're not the same people. They all have, like, there are 5 different Miku, 5 different Rin, 5 different men, and so on. And basically the relationship between them is that the virtual singers live in the world that every member of the units can access through their phone. So for example, the Wandasho Sekai is Wonderland Sekai, so they have their own Wonderland virtual singers, which you might have seen. Hold on. Wandasho Miku. This is Wandasho Miku. Why is she so much bigger? Oh my god. This is VBS Miku. Those two are Miku, but they're the Mikus of different groups. And basically they act as therapists. They're different people. They don't technically meet each other for the longest part of the game, but they exist. So that's basically what the game is about. Every unit here, those 5 units, have dreams, and the virtual singers help them achieve those dreams. And it's really cute. So basically, say Wandasho's dream is basically to make shows. Like theater shows to make people smile. And whenever they hit a road bump, they go to the Wonderland Sekai Vocaloid. They say, Miku, help me! And Miku magically helps them. And then everyone is happy. That's basically how the game goes. I would say the virtual singers to the units can be like helpers to the groups. Exactly. And often performs with the member in shows. That too, every unit covers songs. Like for example, Wandasho has covered say Kyofu All Back with Rin, and it's very cute and I like it. Oh, that's why there are different outfits for them. Yes, they're actually different people. Technically, different versions of the same person. Making the mentally ill teenagers, that's exactly what it is about. That's exactly it. I think I should get a lumbar support or something. Sitting at the computer for 8 hours makes my lower back itch a bit. That would be a good idea. Personally, whenever I get tired, I just stretch like I did right now. But honestly, if I had to sit straight for 8 hours every single day, I would also get a lumbar support. Please take care of your health. Plus, I really like customers who don't ask any questions or just place an order after browsing on their own. All I have to do is send them the order details in the exact order they appear in the clipboard for confirmation. That does sound easier than counting individual flower petals. So I hope you get many more customers like this instead of the say overly curious customers. I say, is Praxekai a canon thing, as in for the Vocaloid fans or something? Vocaloid fans usually hate Praxekai, so no, the Vocaloid fans don't consider it canon, and like, it's kind of like every Miku is canon. Technically, the Mikus in Praxekai are canon for the same reason as Miku in every song is canon. But this is my interpretation, but I think Praxekai is basically a story about anyone with any dream who gets comforted by Vocaloid. So is it canon? If we're talking about officially, like, they don't exist, so, like, the characters don't exist, so no. If you think about the fact that there's no canon for Vocaloid in itself because it's just a voice, it's just a musical instrument. like, yes, it is canon as much as it will be canon for any other song. Like, every Miku in every sekai has a different personality, just like every Miku in every song has a different role personality, is a different person. So they're canon in their own universe, if that makes sense. We're waiting on our sekai. I do need a sekai. We're waiting for our Miku. Can you imagine the Mop Sekai Miku? So basically the virtual singers are like the god's personal digital assistant for his crew. Basically they are. They're basically therapists. But to be fair, it's not like they just wait for the characters from each unit to come and get help. It's more like they are living their own life in their own words. And whenever the characters pop in Sekai to ask for help, they do. But it's not the only thing about them. Like, for example, Wanda Show Sekai Miku isn't just there waiting for Tsukasa Tenma to say, "Hey Miku, I need help." She's actually in a theater troupe, she's performing shows. She's living her own life. So she would be like any other Miku in any song, I think. I think Project Sekai is just its own universe in itself. Every Miku is canon. Yes, exactly. I see, that's how the Lloyds are viewed, I didn't know that. At least this is how the Vocaloids in the part of the Vocaloid community I know are viewed. If you had asked the same question to 2016 Mopi, who had just discovered Vocaloid, I probably would have told you, I wish there was a canon Kagami Nerin with a Kagami Nerin anime. But nowadays I think people are pushing the every Miku is canon thing also because it's a way of advertising Miku as whatever you want her to be, she can be. And she is. On that skin, I'm gonna do... There's like this joke that Nightcore Kaito is pretty strict sometimes. I don't think that's a joke, he is actually strict. Like, Kaito in every sekai is actually a cutie pie, and then you have Nigo Kaito. How can I describe it? He does care a lot about people in an aggressive way. He's actually cutie patootie, but he does kind of have anger issues. I only discovered Vocaloid last year, by the way, so I'm still new. No worries, no worries. I'm happy to answer any questions. Though I discovered Vocaloid 10 years ago, but for the most part, I just listened to the same songs on loop and didn't interact with the community that much. So I might not know a lot of stuff. Third is Robo Nene. Did Nene make her something? Hold on. Let me pull some visuals. Nene Kasanaki. So this is Nene. She's part of the Wanda Show unit. and she has social anxiety. Like at the beginning of the story, at least, she had social anxiety, which was pretty pretty bad social anxiety, to the point where one of her friends, which is Rui, built this robot for her so the robot can handle the social interactions. So yeah, this Rui guy made the robot for Nene because she was too anxious to interact with people. This is the guy that made Nene Robo. Honestly, it's so cute. I think he said shut up to Mizuki during a show telling her to pay attention. Nigo Kaito is wild! And got into an argument with Nigo Meiko. They did. I don't know what is with Nigo Kaito. Me neither. We made her, I think, for Nene because of her stage fright. Exactly. Oh shit, if Rui made it, no way. Yes way. That's so sweet. How did he even do that? Actually, I think this guy was like 9 or 10 years old when he won a national championship for robotics. So he's a genius, and he decided to use his genius to make the Nirobo. Yes, Rui is my fave. I love Rui. He's really kind to his friends. I like him. There's this Rui card where he's eating a rainbow cake, and I think about that card daily. That's the Emu. Is that Emu? 3? 2? Emu 2? Hold on. Rui cards. This one. This one. The gay cake. And his genius to scare Tsukasa. I like Rui. I'm not gonna simp on stream for him, but I really like Rui. He's insanely smart, and he is. It said he was in an elite high school before transferring to a normal high school. And he's apparently the one who gets the best grades without even studying in his entire school. The amazing gay cake. It's such a pretty card too. I really like this card. I really need to learn the Praxikai lore. Day by day my curiosity is growing. Honestly, even after 5 years of being into Praxikai, I still haven't learned all the lore there is to it. But I really like... honestly, I feel like this game is really about healing from experiences and positivity, so I like it. I like positivity, woohoo! I also need to catch up on Praxikai lore. Me too. Recently I've been reading the Leonid Ivan stories. 1 second, let me grab the commission instructions. I've been reading the Leonid stories, and I really like Leonid too. I think if I gave every unit the same amount of attention, I would love them all equally. Okay, Amber Eyes. numbers like kind of like this, I think. Nico! I like it. Amber gold eyes, so I need to make it more yellow. Hold on, my PC is tweaking. Huh? Oh. Oh, that is not good, guys. Hold on, let me... Okay. When my PC is thinking one of my keycaps is stuck and is being held when it's not the case. So basically I cannot do anything. So I'm just gonna... I'm sorry, give me a second. I'm just gonna try to unplug my keyboard and see if it works. I don't think it's gonna work because it never does, but it's still the first thing to do. Oh, I'm sorry, give me a second. Okay, unplugged and replugged it. Is good now? No. Still not good. What can I do? Honestly, aside from restarting my computer, I'm not sure what I can do. I can't even type stuff on the internet. I can't do anything. Even my Windows cap is not working. This control will it still work? It does, okay. Let's see if I can restart this. If it ends the stream, I am very sorry. Oh. I did the wrong thing, hold on. Let's try to debug this. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Does this work now? Oh, it works again! Okay, I don't know what I did, but it worked. I don't know, man, I usually do is mess with the keyboard key by kind of wiggling it until it becomes unstuck. The thing is, no key is stuck. That's that's the thing. My PC believes a key was stuck, but it actually wasn't. Okay, it seems to be okay now. Yeah, it works again. Perfect. Sorry, let me catch up. That's all the question I had for Isekai. The rest is self-explanatory. I can understand the business perspective of coming up with the idea of making the game. Yay! If you have any more questions, feel free. I like to yap. Emma would make everyone in Wanda show matching friendship bracelets. She would, that would be really cute. Hold on, actually I think this should be darker. and then I can make it. Sugaku kawaii. I don't know the kanji. Hold on, I'm sorry. Ga something. I'm sorry, I can't read this. Give me a second. Let me go on people. It's so cute, your artwork is absolutely... Oh, Moe is... okay. Arigatou gozaimasu. I hope it doesn't end the stream. Thankfully, it did not. Mopi, why don't you try saving your work first and then continue tomorrow? If you use through progress because of a software or hardware issue, all your work tonight will have been for nothing. Don't worry, I have saved my work. And fortunately, my work is saved, and fortunately, the issue seems to be solved. So thank you. I think I'm gonna finish coloring the sketch and then stop, so it's not gonna be much longer anyway. I think this should be closer here. Okay, and then I'm gonna try and add some kind of warm glow. And I also don't want to take away from the darkness on top of it. Munch, munch, meow, 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 meow. I agree. My birthday is in a month and a half. I want it now. Oh my god! Birthday soon! Do you already, do you plan on organizing something? Like a party? Or do you plan on getting something? Like a gift for yourself or something? And I'm just gonna add this as a reminder for myself. Let's go with heart lights. Before watching your streams, I would struggle on iris colors since I was using very small brush size and tried to make the elliptical shapes, because I never watched the Clip Studio Paint tutorial before that. I get you. Like, honestly, like before I would, instead of using a bigger brush and do the iris, like, not the iris, in the pupil, like for example the pupil, instead of using a big brush like I do now, I would always like do this and then fit it in, and it always ended up looking a bit wonky. So I get you, honestly. Also, it takes so much time to find a brush size that works for you. Like even now, still experimenting with stuff. I know I prefer to work with bigger brush sizes when sketching, especially if it's the rough sketch. Like this. I prefer bigger shapes, but then for the rest of my artwork I prefer to have thinner brush strokes. And it took me so long to figure out. Simpler the brushes, by the way. Like nowadays I prefer the simpler brushes, which is just like the mapping pen in my case, but honestly it just I modified it so much that basically just the G pen now, like it's the same pen, which is the most basic one. But finding that brush that just works for me took me so long. It's gonna be a milestone, so I plan on inviting my best friends out for fun, and hopefully as a present a Nintendo Switch deal with Tomodachi. Oh my god! Wait, yeah, that would be really cute. I love Tomo Life too. And so many good games are coming out on Nintendo Switch too. So I really hope you get it. That would be amazing. Hold on, it's time to think about where the light will be coming from, and because it's supposed to be a bit warm, I think I wanna have the shadows on this side, so I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'll add more details when I do the actual drawing. And I was asking what kind of insane drawing skills does one require to draw in color iris. I felt that. Also, the liquefy effect is just gold. I know! I honestly can't believe I've been sleeping on it for so long, but I only started really using liquefy this year actually. Like when I started streaming is when I really started using it. And holy, it's so useful. Like, it's such a quick and easy way to see how to make your drawing potentially better, or to fix a small mistake that would require you to actually change stuff on like 40 different layers. You just have to liquefy it, and at the end of the day, your artwork is saved. Oh my god, that's exactly what I was doing and it looked so off. I feel that, really. It's so hard to get to good shape. Nice. I know many people don't like doing line art. Personally, I've always been doing it, so I don't really mind. But for people who don't like line art, I feel like they can entirely skip this part. Like, instead of doing line art, they can totally just draw shapes like this. This is gonna be a face. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. The problem is nobody teaches you that you can do this. Like in this works, and then you can add line art after, and it automatically like feels better for people who don't like to do line art. But also another trick is to use edges, and it automatically adds the line art. And boom, you have a line art. So honestly, there are so many different possible workflows. It's really just about drawing and discovering what works for you. Which is also why I think teaching art is really difficult, and that's why I really admire people who can. because there are so many different workflows and things that might not work for everyone. So when people are able to teach different ways, I am so impressed every time. Also, I was doing line art on a non-vector layer. I feel so stupid. Actually, aside from myself and another person which gave me the advice, I don't know anyone who uses vector layers for line art. Like, generally, I know myself and one other person. So I don't think that it's stupid, it's just people hear vector layer and they go away. Like, honestly, I would too, because what is a vector? Is that geometry? Is what I would think if I hadn't been demonstrated directly what it can do. I'll see. Also, people who don't have Clip Paint don't have access to the same options. So for example, I tried vector layers in Ibis Paint. It sucks. I would never ever use vector layers in Ibis Paint. Maybe it's just because I haven't understood how to use them properly. But from what I've seen, I just cannot apply the same workflow when I'm working on Ibis Paint. So honestly, I don't think many people actually use that workflow I use. Hold on. Dark blue or charcoal gray? Hold on, let me just quickly look up what charcoal gray looks like. That kind of color. Okay, so it's dark desaturated blue. Personally, I like vector layers because my own art style also doesn't require I think it just also works with my art style because it doesn't require a lot of line art thickness variations. Like here, this dark area I've done, usually I don't do, but here I think it's relevant. That would be harder to do on the vector layer, I think. It's possible, of course, but sometimes I feel like for this type of line arts that has a lot of variation, it might actually work better not to use vector layers. When it comes to my art style or the Prexica art style, I think it's better to use vector layers because you can be a lot more precise. Okay, I have the base colors down. I'm just gonna add basic shading just to get an overall idea of how it's gonna look. I think I wanna have... Hold on. I think I want to make the sweater a little bit lighter so it doesn't blend too much with the background. So let's go to tonal correction and amp up the luminosity a bit and the saturation down a bit as well. Okay, I think that's better. I'm excited for the new Splatoon game. Wait, there's a new Splatoon game? I didn't say that. It's gonna be so cool. I have never played Splatoon myself, but I love watching people play it. It's gonna be so fun. I plan on getting a job after my birthday, so pray I do get a pay for the Switch Online somehow. Is it expensive for you, the Switch Online subscription? It's really cheap. Like, it's the cheapest subscription I've ever seen. Good luck for finding a job. I wanna hang out with my friends, but there's like no places that aren't a park or something like this. Also, I don't know if my friends wanna hang out with me. They seem pretty busy. I think you should ask them. Even if they're busy, I'm pretty sure it would make them happy to have some time off. Also, I get you, like, where I live, there is no entertainment for young people. We don't even have an arcade. The only thing we have aside from parks are movie theaters, but also Switzerland is known to have the most expensive movie theaters in the world. And I don't want to pay $30 for a single movie ticket, not including the drinks or the food. I live 30 minutes away from Sydney, so there's stuff to do there. There were plans to go to some big garden place, but that never happened. I hope you get to go. I hope you get to go. I swear I've seen those workflows before. Another one I know is cleaning a sketch, and that becomes the line art. People who can do that are so mind-blowing to me because how do you... I don't know. I feel like whenever I'm watching those speed paints, I blink and then the mess that I didn't even understand becomes like a masterpiece. And I don't even understand how they do this. It's so impressive to me. Another workflow I've seen for line art, which I found pretty interesting, was hold on. I'm gonna remove the hairline art. Wait, no, not the hair. I'm gonna remove the face line art. And what they did was they used the quick lasso fill tool and like they did stuff like this. Like, I know it's so blind, but how do people use the lasso tool to fill stuff? like to fill stuff I understand for line art? How do you guys do this? Or like, maybe they... Actually, I'm just thinking, what if they put the layer behind... Huh? What if they put the layer behind... No, wait, that makes no sense. I don't know how people did this. It's mind-blowing to me. Sydney has a big bookstore that sells a lot of manga. I love going there and buying manga there. I wanna find a big bookstore with manga. Please. There is one big bookstore chain that exists in my city. Unfortunately, they have reduced their manga shelves. Like before we had many shelves for manga. Nowadays we have a table and then like one shelf and a half, maybe. And it's really sad because when I was out buying manga earlier, I mentioned I was buying Witch Hat Atelier manga, right? And I was able to buy volume 1, 2, 4, and 5, but I didn't find volume 3 and they didn't have it. Because only one copy of it was available on the shelves. And before they would have multiple copies of every manga for every manga, so you could easily find it. Now someone specifically bought volume 3, so I wasn't able to get it. I'm gonna go back another time and check if they have it again. No, you're definitely supposed to use vector layers for line art. That's how you get that clean, perfect charm on it. Vector does not save the pixels as they are, but mathematical operation behind. So even if you increase your canvas resolution, your line art wouldn't become pixelated. Yeah, exactly. This is also why I like it, because I don't... like, you wouldn't typically notice if the colors become pixelated. The worst it can become is a bit blurry if there's shading. Line art, on the other hand, is really what tends to look off when it becomes pixelated. Like, for example, I saved this commission as a JPEG file, and you can definitely see that the line art... Wait, actually, no, you can't. Oh, wait, that's because it's the original file. My bad. This is the JPEG file. You can definitely see the blurriness of the line art that doesn't really bother me when it's shaded. That's why I prefer vector layers for line arts. Like, for shading, you don't really notice it as much. And also, for this specific commission I just showed that I did for Nox, I used a huge canvas size because I was so happy about getting a commission. It was so huge that I had to scale down the drawing at the end of the day because they were gonna use it as a profile picture, and it was too big to be used as a profile picture. So if I hadn't used vector layers, the scale down result wouldn't have looked good. So in that case, I think I made the right decision. I like vector layers. I use Krita because I'm broke and can't be bothered to figure out how to sell the 7 Cs for Pipsio Paint. I tried using Krita before. I wonder if I still have it installed. Wait, are you guys seeing anything on this? Hello? Are you guys even seeing anything with the stream? Did it become black suddenly? Huh? What happened? Oh, it's back, okay. Okay, it's back, never mind. I see what happened. My bad. That's my bad. I used to use Krita. Like, I used it once or twice. There were so many brushes that I kind of got overwhelmed and uninstalled it. OBS playing tricks. No, that's my fault. I was just stupid for a second. They're really useful for logos, my art teacher said. Yeah, I think you cannot do a logo if you're not using vector layers. I think Clip Studio Paint is really not fit for graphic design, so I wouldn't design a whole logo. Like an official professional logo on Clip Studio Paint for this. Even though I am falling for the anti-Adobe propaganda, I still would get Adobe Illustrator. Because as much as I love Clip Studio, when it comes to actual graphic design, no, it's not the right fit, I think. But for similar reasons, it works very well for illustration. I'm planning on getting a drawing tablet for my computer. I've been meaning to get one for a couple of years and then trying out Clip Studio since the features look like they would help my art. One of my art moods on Insta actually tried Clip Studio recently, and they said it was a bit confusing at the beginning, so I made a sort of mini tutorial on basic functions, and they ended up really liking Clip Studio. So I think it's really worth it. That's why you cannot use liquifying vector layers. That's the annoying thing, but my workaround this is to just rasterize layers if I really need a correction made with liquify tool. and then use the rectify tool. That's my workaround. Obviously not perfect because you lose the vector, but it works anyway. But you can just move the vector line art with ease, something I find super useful. I know, it's saving my life and it's saving me so much time. Oh, that looks really good. Thank you! Let me know if anything needs to be changed. I'll do it happily. Switch Online Basic in Australian dollars is $30 per year. Okay, so it's pretty cheap compared to other subscriptions. Hold on, let me do the conversion. 30 AUD to CHF is 16 per year. Yeah, that's about what I pay too. Except I pay monthly because I'm stupid. I'm looking up to Chinese artists and watching the tutorials and blinking, and suddenly it had line art and is hella rendered. I know. I know. People who actually do the sketch then render process, I admire them so much because I'm sure it would save me so much time to do this, but also, how do you do this? What sorcery is this? The Adobe ecosystem. Adobe makes me mad. You can't even get individual softwares anymore. Like, if I just want to get Illustrator to learn graphic design, I cannot. I have to get the whole package of multiple apps I'm never gonna use. Like, what is... I don't get to do... I don't... It's so expensive too. It is so expensive. I live in Switzerland, which is easily one of the richest countries in the world, and I cannot afford any Adobe softwares. Like, why would they make it so overpriced? I mean, I know why they would do it. I understand, but that is so shitty. Artists are already struggling financially for the most part. Why would you do this to us? Yeah, right, I also have this trouble for After Effects. This too. I've been wanting to give After Effects a try, but at the end of the day, why would I do it? First of all, I cannot give this a try. I would have to take it extremely seriously because of how ridiculously overpriced it is. And also there are similar softwares that do the same job I would do, like Live 2D. I'm using Live 2D instead. It's not free, but it's so much cheaper. Reminds me I have to cancel my subscription because I'm not using it at the moment. Also, it's a really shitty move because Adobe softwares are the industry standard, and unless you're in an art school who has a subscription to Adobe softwares, you have to pay them for yourself. Problem is, if you're not in an art school, you have to pay them yourself. Problem is, if you're a student, usually you wouldn't have that much money to give away. And at the end of the day, you just get more and more behind your peers who are in art school just because of this, because you're not using the industry standard, which really sucks. Thankfully, everyone is so mad at Adobe that the industry standard is changing. I'm seeing so many more people using Clip Studio instead of Illustrator or Photoshop. And then there's the cloud subscription with student discount, but still. Honestly, I don't even know if I would get student discount with my... Like, I'm obviously a student, I have my student ID. I don't even know if it's recognized. That's also another problem. If your university or college or whatever isn't recognized in the official list thingy, well, too bad for you. And I'm so used to Swiss institutions not being recognized. I wouldn't be surprised if Adobe would reject my student ID. Sniff. Yeah, I like my university as well. Oh no. Oh no. Thankfully, my university at least offers like the office suite, so Microsoft, Word, Excel, that kind of stuff. But I don't think they offer anything about Adobe services, since it's not an art school. Maybe I'm behind because I don't know that much about the industry besides some basics. I mostly just did what I wanted to do in the art world and just enjoyed myself. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Because if you worry too much about industry standards, like obviously it's good to be aware of them and to be relevant, but if you worry too much about that stuff, you're gonna kill your interest in art, which is really not great, obviously. My dad, a few years ago, told me that I should try Adobe softwares because it's the industry standard, and he was kind enough to pay for a few months of Adobe Creative subscription, so I had access to basically any Adobe software. Thing is, I tried Illustrator and I didn't understand anything, and it has a lot of functions that I don't need on top of functions that Clip Studio has. And at the end of the day, I just realized that Clip Studio could do the exact same job for what I was doing, and that I didn't need an WordPress subscription. And today, what I'm observing is that everyone is choosing Clip Studio. Aside from hired professionals working in studios, and I'm gonna mention in Western studios, because in other parts of the world, Adobe is not industry standard. But nowadays, Clip Studio is becoming an alternative industry standard, at least for anime artists or comic artists also. So honestly, I'm just happy I stuck to Clip Studio. Yeah, the Microsoft Office softwares are definitely given for the research papers and all. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did download them, but I don't use them. The only reason I have them on my computer is because sometimes teachers give us files that can only be opened by those softwares. But other than that, if I need to write a paper, I use Google Docs. I am a humanities student, so I don't need Excel. So whenever I do need something similar done, I just use Google Sheets. I don't even know what else. Oh, PowerPoint. I also use Google Slides. But yeah, honestly, I just work with what works the best for me. But also, I know that if I ever need to actually use the Office suits, the Microsoft Office, I know that I can learn easily because, I mean, it's just another digital tool. If I don't know something, I know how to look it up. So I'm just choosing whatever is convenient for me. I've mostly just been focusing on getting my art the way I wanted it to be, so I could be able to put my ideas into what I imagined. And that's really great. I think being able to actually represent what's in your mind on paper is one of the most important things about being an artist. And that is what people are practicing art fundamentals for. Honestly, as long as you know the fundamentals, you can work on anything, I believe. Yep, and I will never get over how they only give 1 week trial for each Adobe software. There's no way you have enough time to explore them. That is... I don't usually like calling companies greedy because what is a company if not greedy? That's just how things work. But Adobe is just a whole different brand of greedy. You're making us pay this much and we don't even get at least a 1 month trial? Like, are we serious? Like, even if you have 8 hours to spare each day to learn whatever Adobe software you're gonna use, you wouldn't be able to learn everything and to do everything you want with it in just 1 week. I would say 1 month is a bit too short, but honestly, I wouldn't blame them if they only gave us a month. 1 week is just insanity. To be honest, Adobe's pricing is outrageous, especially through distributors in China where prices can run into the thousands of Chinese yuan. That is insane. That is actually insane. Their pricing... Honestly, I am not in favor of piracy at all. But when the industry standard is so ridiculously overpriced, I think it's to be expected. I'm not encouraging it, but at this point it just cannot be avoided no matter what they do. And if it could be avoided, if you couldn't get a hacked pirate version of Adobe softwares, I think Adobe would die anyway. Like, nobody would be using it anymore. Hold a second. Okay. Google Chrome was translating my entire webpage, which is already in English, to English. I thought some things were a bit weird, but okay. Can you stop translating? Google Chrome, can you please stop translating. Thank you. I call myself a comic artist and I've made comics before, or have tried to. And I think it's really great, and I'm so excited to actually read them. Like, I know they're gonna be so good. Once when I was younger in 2nd grade, I wrote a 6-page story when it was only supposed to be 1 page, then got forced into making it into 2-page and got upset because I had to cut so much. Oh no. But also that sucks. Why would you have... No, that is so sad. I would also get so sad. I've been a writer for a while, I suppose. I used to be praised more for my writing skills than my drawing skills. But I kind of gave up on writing, which is why I'm hoping to do comics, because it doesn't require as much. Like, it requires more ideas and how to translate those ideas onto paper than writing itself. Hi Kitsune! Thank you for coming. Am I late again? I fear I'm gonna end the stream very soon, unfortunately, which I'm very sorry about. My science head teacher has written an entire novel, it's just in his Google Docs. Oh my god. That is so cute. I don't know about you guys, but I really like seeing my teachers like doing creative stuff. Like, it just makes me happy to know that they have a creative activity, because then they're also more likely to understand students who need, for example, to doodle in class to listen better. I've written extremely basic character synopses for my characters just to write them down and get it out of the head. I think it's a good idea. I also have like a whole list of ideas that I'm probably never gonna use, but at least I can reuse them in the future. I wanted to do comics so I can show what I'm imagining. Me too, I just love daydreaming, I guess. There's one thing that's bothering me. It looks like she's blonde instead of having white hair. I think I'm gonna change the skin color a bit. Yeah, okay, that looks better. Now it does look like she has white hair. But I feel like writing it down isn't enough for me. I feel that... Me too. Hi Mariam! I'm sorry for being so late, I just came home from school. No worries, no worries. Hello! Good job at school today. I don't condone pirated software, but Adobe's pricing is outrageous. Yeah, me too, exactly. I wouldn't advise doing it, nor would I do it myself, because I can always find alternatives. But at the same time, honestly, because it's so ridiculously overpriced, I think Adobe should only blame themselves if it happens. I really have to try and fix my notifications, bro. My notifications are also not working correctly, which I really hate. I don't know what YouTube's doing. Furthermore, Adobe stipulates that licenses purchased in other regions, such as Japan, cannot be used for commercial purposes in China, even though this is permitted in countries outside of China. What? I'm sorry, what? Dude. What? Adobe's annoying me. I don't like Adobe. I don't even know what to say. This is so stupid. What are we talking about? We're being haters. We're being haters for Adobe. Adobe pricing, writing, and peak Mopi yapping. Thank you. I once spent 1,000 Chinese yuan on the official Microsoft Windows 11 Workstation Edition. The Windows 11 is pretty hard to use. True. But when it comes to Adobe software costing 3,000 Chinese yuan a month, that is insane. I wouldn't be able to afford it too. Hold on, let me do the conversion. I think I have a good idea of how much it is in my currency. It's CNY to CHF. That is. I don't have a job. I get some money from my mom, technically. That is double what I get every month. That is... This is ridiculous. Oh wait, it was converting to the wrong currency. What? Okay, that is about what I get every month. I don't want to spend my entire... I don't know how to call this, pocket money on Adobe subscription. I can't afford this. I also have other subscriptions that I need to pay. I have papers to print for university. I have food to buy. I think I'm gonna blame school for me being late, even though that's totally the reason. Yeah, to be honest, fair, I don't go to classes anymore, so I didn't even realize it was Monday. In my opinion, piracy is passable if the thing being pirated is literally inaccessible normally. An example, old Nintendo games like the DS. I personally will stand with the law because I don't understand enough about those issues to be able to have my own opinion. Now, it doesn't personally affect my life, so if people pirate stuff, I don't, like, it's not affecting me, I don't mind. So many cats! I haven't played Praxica in like 1 or 2 months. That's okay. I don't know what to say. It's okay, I'm gonna end the stream anyway. I think I did what I wanted to do today, for the most part, which is the sketch. Ooh, hold on a second. I have flipped my canvas, and now it's looking weird, so let's fix this. I'm gonna make a copy and merge all layers and liquefy it. This side is wider than the other side, which makes it look weird. Also, I forgot to check, because this is gonna be a profile picture, I like to check the placement of the picture. Obviously, you can use it however you want. If you want to zoom in more, you can. I think this is fine. I'm gonna test it on my own profile picture later to see how it looks. Okay, that's better. I think I'm gonna make this, oops, this side a bit wider. I think the shoulder should be more like this. And I think I wanna do this. Yes, that's better. Before, after is better. My attendance for my whole 3 years of university must be less than 10%. If I could do this, no, actually, I wouldn't do it. I feel you do. Like recently, because of the news that the government has removed art history from the high school curriculum, since then, because I'm studying to be an art history teacher, I've been so demotivated that my attendance has dropped so much. I think for my 3 years of university, like I'm gonna go into 4th year now, I think my attendance must have been something like 80%, 75 maybe. But I don't wanna go to classes anymore, which is great because this is summer break anyway, so I don't need to. The government's beef with artists, I swear. Anyway, I think I'm gonna stop the stream here since the conversation also seems to be dying out a bit. Thank you so much for coming once more. My friend is aiming to be a paleontologist, old history discovery people, dinosaur bones and stuff like that. That is so cool! I actually wish I could learn this as well. Because I learned about ancient history, but not that ancient. I'm talking about like antiquity, Greek antiquity, Egyptian antiquity, Roman antiquity. That is so cool. I hope your friend has a lot of fun learning about it. I have assessments in 2 weeks and I haven't started revising. I have no motivation. That is so real. I have one exam in 2 weeks and a half and another one in 3 weeks and a half. I don't wanna go. I really don't wanna go. I don't wanna study. I'm gonna do it anyway, but it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I don't wanna go. But we got this. Everyone is gonna pass exams and whatever. Good luck, everyone. Good luck, Mopi. Thank you. Anyway, I am gonna go call my grandma and wish her a happy birthday, and I'm gonna go hug my cats, who were crying outside my door because they wanted to hug me. No past trust. Real. Bye, Mopi. Good night, since it's night here. Good night. I hope you have a nice sleep. You got this. Thank you. Everyone has got it. Happy birthday, Grandma. I will tell her, and I'm sure she's gonna thank everyone. So thank you. Bye bye. I'm back. Birds, hello and goodbye. I'm so sorry. Bye bye, guys.